Nick was always looking to make others feel good. I will never forget the time Nick and I were at the beach with a few friends. It was a beautiful day, and we were playing catch with a football at the edge of the water. I briefly looked away, and by the time I looked back, Nick had begun playing catch with a young boy who had been standing nearby. The boy smiled ear to ear with every pass Nick tossed his way. Today we are here to celebrate the loss of the life of Nick Preston. I have known Nick his entire life, and have gotten to witness firsthand the type of man he was. Nick was always there for whoever needed him, and repeatedly put himself before others. Today we are here because we knew Nick during his life with us. Nick has now left us and moved on to greater things. Today we celebrate the life of Nick here on earth. Life is about loving and doing what you can to make the best out of our short lives. Nick was one of the most understanding people we knew. He cared about everyone, and he showed it. Nick always showed compassion towards everyone he knew. Nick always made himself available to others. He could always find the best in anyone. He would also always help anyone in need. Nick had his own truck, which meant he was able to pull things for his friends. When people needed help moving, Nick was often someone who they would look to. Friends and family would occasionally borrow Nick's truck if they did not have one, but if they found themselves in a situation if they needed one. But Nick never hesitated when someone was in need of more support. Nick was a great listener. If he could tell that someone was upset, he would be the first person to lend an ear. It didn't matter where Nick was. He would drop whatever he was doing to meet up with someone who needed support. He could always find the best in everyone. There were people in Nick's life who created challenges for him, and he was always able to see the best in these people. Nick's stepmom was not the most accepting of him and his family. However, he also managed to find the best of the situation that was at hand, even though it was not a good situation. Nick's relationship with his father was also not the greatest due to the circumstances. While he would not deny this, he would explain how this helped him to grow as a person, and he became a better family member because of this experience. If someone were to speak negatively of someone in front of Nick, he would always be able to think of something positive about that person. Workplaces are often filled with gossip. If someone would speak negatively about another coworker, Nick was more than willing to stick up for that person and try to find something that made that person special. If someone were to speak poorly of someone out of frustration, Nick was always able to think of something that showed that while the individual may not be perfect, they are still a good person. Nick had a positive aspect on life. He did his best to be there for everyone and to be the best he could as a person. Nick had a very realistic aspect on life. This is why he cared about others so much. Another display of this is how he lived his daily life. Nick believed in making the most out of every day. He had a very hard time sitting still as well. Whether it was at work or off the clock, he was on the move. He took his career very seriously. He did not like leaving a job unfinished. It is recalled seeing Nick at work after hours, well after hours. When he was asked what he was still doing there, he answered that there was still work to be done. It is thought that this originates back to his childhood. He was taught at a young age that leaving a task unfinished is not acceptable. Nick was a strong believer in quality work as well. He believed that quality was a necessity. All work needed to be done to the best of your ability. He also believed that not doing a job well, if you cannot do a job well, you might as well not even do it at all. He did not like wasting days sitting around either. There were not many days that you would see Nick sitting at home. He was always on the move. He spent more time of his weekends spending it with family and friends. He loved to go on adventures with his loved ones as well. He loved to tell stories about all the memories he made with them. He loved the outdoors too. He loved to go fishing, and if his truck and boat were gone, everyone knew where he was that day. Nick also loved to take his boat for a joyride. He loved to spend the day on the water with loved ones. Nick was a very outgoing individual and a dedicated employee. His ambition is what kept him going. Nick's compassion and ambition are what made him the great individual that he was. He will truly be missed. Nick made his mark here on Earth. He had a huge impact on the people he left behind. When looking at Nick's life, I think there is something to be learned. Let's all try to take a piece of Nick's life and add it to our own. Let's all help Nick's spirit live on. When you leave here today, remember that there is life. Remember that life is about love and making every day a day to remember. Thank you.